always said I'm much more an executive than anything else. I think we got some great candidates thinking about running for the Senate. Whoever we have is going to, I believe, win the Senate seat. But I think we got some great candidates running for the Senate. We'll see what happens with Governor Kane. I think he'd be a spectacular candidate, but if he decides not to run, I think Tom Perriello and others, or anyone else wants to run, I think we have a great opportunity of keeping that seat. Whoever we have, it's going to be a Democrat focused on job creation and so forth. So, but
would you ever consider throwing yourself?
Probably not in the Senate.
No.
Well, you know, I'm into job creation right now, and I've got this car company going. I'm excited about that. I think we have some great candidates, and we're thinking of running. And I think I'm much better at where I can go out and really help people. And where I can help people the most is creating jobs, being an executive, and doing what I do. And the Senate's probably not the best thing for me to really help people here in Virginia.
What about the governorship?
Well, I've said I'm interested in it. I'll look at it. It's a couple of years away. I ran for governor. I loved running for governor. I mean, I loved the process. I brought up what I thought were a lot of big ideas, great ideas that I think we ought to do in a renewable energy standard, and you go through all the different issues that I went through. Those issues are still prevalent today. And I've been able to do this in the private sector. And if I think I can make a difference, I can create jobs and get the economy moving and move Virginia in a new direction, then I'll consider it. Jim Webb was a great United States Senator. And I'm disappointed he's not running again, but that's his decision with his family, and I will never argue with that. You know, being a family man with 5 children and my wife very active in everything that I do, he decided not to run again. But this is a seat that we easily can keep. This is a seat that if Tim Kaine or anyone else, whoever it is, we got a lot of great candidates, we're going to keep that seat. We need to do it. It's about job creation. Who will do the best job of bringing jobs here to Virginia? And it's going to be a Democrat that's going to do that. So.
What's going to be different about 2013? What did you learn in 2009? In anticipating.
That's a good question. Listen, I loved running for governor. I had a lot of big ideas.
It was a great campaign.
I got a lot of big ideas. I had a 132-page business plan, which I don't think anyone ever running for governor put out. You knew exactly where I stood. I said, if you don't like my ideas, don't vote for me. And they didn't. It's all right. No. I mean, just lay out where you think we need to go. And I'm proud to say that a lot of the stuff that I talked about in the campaign, people are all talking about.
I'm curious to get what your take is on Governor McDonald's argument.
Well, first of all, Martin O'Malley's been a great governor in Maryland. He took over a state that had a lot of financial issues. He's been a great steward of their economy. And if you want to talk about Virginia, and I've talked about it, and Roz and I have talked about this, for us not last year to pay the $620 million of the retirement system, which I understand why that was done, because it would have been draconian cuts to education. But please don't come back to me this year and say we have a surplus when all we did was kick the can down the road. And the $620 million with a 7.5% interest rate will have to be paid by the next governor and the next administration. Don't tell me this is a surplus. And I'm all for transportation, because if you want to bring new jobs in, we got to have the best quality education, the best transportation system, because we got to lure business from North Carolina and our neighbors. But on a transportation system, we're talking about $1.1 billion in Garvey bonds, which we don't know what the federal government's going to do on transportation. Those Garvey bonds may not be available. That's future anticipated receipts. So I just want every Virginian to understand that we don't know where the Garvey bonds. And the other $1.8 billion, there's no repayment mechanism. So you're borrowing $1.8 with no repayment mechanism to it. And if the economy doesn't work out at the 5% rate that they talk about, then where does that money come from? It comes from the general fund. We have kicked the can down to the next administration, the next governor, and they're going to have to deal with it. And he can say, well, I didn't raise taxes. But you know what? At the end of the day, if the Garvey bonds don't work out the way they are, and the $1.8 billion in bonding for the state doesn't work out, it comes comes out of the general fund. You should understand that. It's a big issue. And let's pay back the $620 million that we owe the Virginia retirement system that we didn't pay. When we're done with all that, then talk to me about surpluses.